So these are some of the drills I kind of take from the Bears. This is more of a team drill, defensive drill. Again, working movements, working it, and then working the turnover and getting fumble. This is something that we've incorporated here at Rochester where we do circuits. So our defense coordinator, Chris Sapp, he'll basically give me, we call it a blitz circuit. Well, he'll have me work with every position group. And as you see, as I'll show some of these drills, it's vital to especially like if you're a high pressure team or anytime you got guys, you got different guys blitzing, the techniques, a lot of times they're not going to work that or understand it. And, I see it more because we have what we call a rush position where it's a hybrid linebacker and D lineman, where there's a lot of times they are missing out on techniques because they'll be with the linebackers. So this year they're going into this spring, they're going to be working more with me because a lot of what they do is going to be more defensive line emphasized. So we work a lot of drills, we'll work circuits to get these other position groups an understanding of what the movements are and so that they're comfortable with those movements. As you'll see, some of them won't be comfortable with the movements. So this is a fun drill. This is called a boomerang drill. So here we have, I think we have Khalil Mack. It's a very competitive drill. It's really, we'll go off of one man's, he'll be the trigger, and you got to go off of that. It's working the eyes, working the seeing that movement, and working working around that edge. Something that I kind of tweaked with this, again, to help my guys understand these movements, whether obviously these are all pro guys, they know what to do. So something I kind of changed with that is adding that crown to it. So breaking it down to its component of really emphasizing that chopping down of when you're hitting that edge, it's chopping and dropping that shoulder and working around. So here is this is how we originally worked it. So they're working around that edge, again, emphasizing that reach. You see how some guys are not getting that chop enough, because the better you have that chop, you're dropping that shoulder, it's limiting that hitting surface for that offensive lineman. So here you have linebackers. Now you see how something like this kid is very stiff. He's not used to these type of movements. So it's like, again, getting different, getting those guys to work different drills than they normally would work. Like, as you see this kid here to number, what number is this? 10, I think he is, or 15. You see how his hip, where his belly button is? That's an awkward turn for him. And so that's where we would miss a sack in that situation, where he needs to be more like the other guy and to get that belly button around. So now we got some DBs working it. You see the chop now, all of a sudden they're just running and turning and them not understanding the techniques to it. So if we got blitzing, we got them coming off the edge, or even in a lot of cases, we got them coming into the inside and beat gap. So it's important for them to kind of understand pad level, understanding what they have at their disposal in terms of weapons and using their hands and the leverage and all that stuff.
Hey guys, as you watch this, or you notice when Coach talks about the defensive backs that are coming in, which are obviously the thinner kids, that those kids square off movements as opposed to bend into a circular movement which the defensive linemen are much more comfortable with. And that probably leads them to have to make like a double cut, put their foot in the ground, come back at 90 to make a tackle on the quarterback when they're blitzing. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So now we kind of added two guys there. So this one for safety, because we have some guys that just love running into each other. But now we're getting that, both sides getting that chopping of the arm down. Again, when they reach, it's really about getting that chest down, because you're going to have a longer arm compared to just having your hand up. It's really getting that chest down on that reach. So here's another way. It's like just the straight gauntlet. Now they have tighter confinements. And this finish here, it's really about that club coming all the way through to really clear your hip around. And you'll see some guys struggle to get that hip around and work it down to finish. Now, I call that a karaoke technique where they're trying to go for the ball, but securing the tackle there. You see how he took more steps than needed because he's not following through with that club arm. Now he does really good initially. The emphasis here is really getting your shoulders parallel to the bag, but then moving on to that next bag. Right there, he's got to follow through with the club arm to allow him to make that an easier transition for him. So here you have linebackers. So this is one of our starting linebackers, or Sam Backer. Just again, he's not used to these movements. He's not used to using his hands this way. It's a struggle for him. So it's really, a lot of times they want to rush through the drill because they think it's a speed drill, but it's technique. Slow it down, go at your own pace. So what I'm saying to them here is that they need to, it's really an emphasis of the hands and getting that hip there, getting your shoulders parallel to that bag.